Hey everybody, and welcome back to Set the Pipe. This is Sully. I'm here with CK, and I'm here with Bear.
Hey.
The three of us. We have another Hall of Famer on here, guys. Not a bad one. Dana Cooke. Welcome to Set the Pipe.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Hi, Dana.
Hi.
It has been so long. This is kind of special for me, and we don't need to get too far into it, but Dana and Michelle, my wife, played volleyball in Europe together in Amsterdam. Mm-hmm. And they were teammates, and they were together for 6-7 months, and I got to go over there a couple times and visit her, and then obviously see Dana. And we haven't seen each other in a long time, but we've stayed in touch. And I think it's going to be a fun and brilliant interview for a lot of reasons, just tons of stories about volleyball. The Schwarta sneak, I'm supposed to have you bring that up and explain what the Schwarta sneak was, Dana. Which is okay. We can get to that when we talk about Amsterdam. But the other thing is just we're trying to bring, this sport that all four of us love and we're having fun with, and it's kind of shaped a lot of our lives, is just out to the world. And you're in Canada. You're from Canada.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be great because of it. So thanks for joining us. And I'm going to let Sully jump in here and talk a little bit about who you are and all your volleyball accolades.
Yeah, so you get to sit back and relax and have somebody talk about you for a little bit on the good side. Dana Cooke had a distinguished volleyball career at Michigan State University and later competed on the professional tour on the beach. From Canada to Michigan State, played at Burlington Central High School in Burlington, Ontario, Canada. In her college career at Michigan State, she co-captained the MSU volleyball team in the 95 national semifinals and helped secure Big Ten titles in 95 and 96. Those same years, she was a two-time All-American and first-team All-Big Ten selections, and then two-time academic All-American, including first-team academic All-American in 96 and third-team in 95. Set the Michigan State single-season record for blocks, 191, and block assist at 163 in 1995, and holds the all-time blocks record for Michigan State. She is a 2011 inducted in the Michigan State University Athletic Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Professional in beach volleyball, she in 98, 99, she was in Holland. And then she went to the beach volleyball career, earning the world ranking as high as 28th and becoming the first runner-up for Tour Rookie of the Year in 2007. She transitioned roles to an elite volleyball coach and clinic instructor, founding, quote, Do Something Volleyball, and contributing significantly to athlete development in both beach and indoor volleyball. And her coaching stints in 2014 and 2017, George Brown College, the assistant and head coach of the women's varsity volleyball, and 2015 to 2019, assistant coach development program for the Canadian National Beach Volleyball team. So the Do Something Volleyball we'll get into later on. But again, Dana Cooke, we are sure happy to have you on Set the Pipe.
Thank you for coming on.
I feel like I should.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So Dana, I ask everyone this, and there's a lot of the same answers when it gets to our age. But when you sit back and listen to that, and I'm listening to it, I knew a lot of it, but I haven't heard in a long time. Like, how does it make you feel to see all of the stuff that you accomplished in this sport?
I was thinking about this since you asked me about coming on here. And in general, I don't like telling people about stuff. I live in Canada, so not everybody understands what it means to be an All-American. Most of them don't. Most of them don't care, even if they do know. If you ask my dad, he's like, you should tell everybody. I'm like, Dad, nobody cares. But we're sort of this very, luck doesn't cover it. I'm so fortunate to have made a career out of the sport because so many people don't. And it's afforded me traveling across the world, meeting so many different people. I have, I spent 4 years at Michigan State. I know it's crazy that we all kind of know the same people. And I'm literally born in another country.
Yeah.
Right? I go on the world tour, and that's like another family that you adopt and you travel around with. And they want to see you succeed, even though you're battling against them. Mm-hmm. They want to see you succeed, and they congratulate you when you do well. And, even now that I'm moving into coaching, but I've been coaching since I was in my 20s as well. Like it's been a crazy ride. Sometimes I think, oh my God, I've how did all this happen to me? I've been in such the right place at the right time. And if you ask my family, a lot of them are like, everything falls in your lap. It's Chuck, my former coach used to always say, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah.
And
true though.
I'll disagree.
it is true. And I've been very fortunate. I do think the universe has sort of like dropped some stuff, or I've been in the right place at the right time. But I've also been smart enough to capitalize on it and to work hard and to get the most out of it that I could. So when I hear that list, it's like, holy crap, I've kind of done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
No?
A lot of stuff would be an understatement. And I'm glad you kind of said that, because Mooney and I talk about it often. The three of us have talked about it many times. And this is kind of why we started this, is the journey you've had, and you want to call it luck, fortunate, whatever it may be. You've put the time in and the work in and the positive mentality and everything around it to build that luck, or to build that fortunate situation. And then the difference between athletes like you, who are 3-time or 2-time All-Americans and academic All-Americans and in the Hall of Fame, what makes you and the rest of folks like that are, when they see a situation or an opportunity, whether you could lose or not, they take it. You risk it, you go for it. And you've done that throughout your career, and look where you're at today for it. It's pretty awesome. I'm just going to pivot, or not pivot, but go right into this. You're living in Canada. You're playing volleyball in Canada. That's how you grew up. You know, Canada, you know, volleyball's pretty big there. What makes you come to Michigan State? What makes you not play at Manitoba or one of those schools in Canada? What was the reason behind it?
Well, this is a good story. So I started playing club in grade 9, just like Mooney, grade 9.
Yep.
And my girlfriend dragged me out. It was the first year of a new club. I was super intimidated. I liked volleyball. I was kind of good at it, but I had no training. And I was, after my first year of club, identified for a provincial team. I guess, do you guys have state teams? I don't know if that's a thing.
What? Okay, describe state team. What's the definition of a state
so our
team?
provincial teams, they take like the best 12 athletes, all-stars, yes, if you will. Okay. In the summertime, it's a summer program, and they all get together for a National Teams Challenge Cup. So they train for a couple months, and then we all go for like a national thing where all of the provinces, because we only have like a few, you know, almost a dozen, right? Okay. And they all compete against each other, right? So that's like a yearly program, and I don't know if you guys have anything like that. Like, do you have?
We don't. What we do have is just club, but the club is regionally based. I mean, so like they travel across the country, but for the most part, not all the time, but there's regionals, and they stay within their region for weekend tournaments that are within the region.
Yeah, but you're still within your club, though, right?
Correct. Yeah, there is
so
thing you're talking about.
Outside of the club, you can be pulled from any club onto a provincial team.
Yeah, okay.
And that happens once a year.
How are you chosen?
Sorry?
How were you chosen?
How was I chosen? Oh, it's like they have tryouts.
Oh, okay.
So when I went, I was the youngest. I was 13. I was the youngest person there that made the team. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to try out. I'm not going to really do it. You know, this whole fear of success thing. That's a thing. Right. And I was like, oh, even if I make it, I'm going to say no. And I made it. And I'm like, oh, my God, now I feel an obligation to go. Oh, my God. So I went and had a great experience, was out of my depth. That's where actually the first time I met Gabby and Trisha Straliotto, who were 2 first-team All-Americans from, they went to Ohio State, but they're actually Canadian as well. But they're like 3 years older than me, 2-3 years. And at that age, it's like, that's a big sort of difference, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's sort of how I got into club. My grade 10, I had a freak accident at a game of horse and gym class, and I broke my tib and fib.
Oh. Wow.
So you know those like really gross breaks that you see in the NFL where it's like
we both had something similar.
Yeah, I've done that. I didn't just do it once, I did it twice.
What's the same leg?
Same leg.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I had a plate and 9 screws put in, had it taken out due to complications, early, inconclusive complications. And then I was authorized to play that same year. So I had it in February, had it taken out in June, and then I was authorized to play with no physio. I'm 16. I don't even know what physio is, right?
Right.
In September. And my first club practice back, I adjusted for an outside set, and I took a step, and it snapped again.
Both of them? Both bones?
Oh, and this time it came through the skin a bit, but it was a better break.
Oh, compound. Oh.
So I was a year younger than all of the girls on my team, and we ended up with that team. This was back in the day when nobody left their clubs.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know how it is down in the States, but up here it's like it's just like every year. And leaving a club back then was like scandalous. You just didn't do it. We had two age groups. We had junior and juvenile. So we actually won provincials. And when you win provincials, only the top teams got to go to nationals. It was a really earned thing. And I was hurt, but we won. And we went to nationals, and all of those girls were a year older than me, and about 5 of them ended up getting D1 scholarships and going to the States. So they all left. I'm left with, kind of a sort of the B squad. And I just started playing again a year later, and the last tournament of the year was provincials. And it was the first tournament I had played since I broke my leg the second time. And Michigan State was there scouting another girl, actually. I had no intention of going to the States. I had, sort of given my applications, and this is April of my freshman year was September. So think about that. Think about that timeline, which is insane.
College freshman year.
Yeah. So, and so keep in mind, back then we had grade 13.
Oh, okay.
Right. Which, that's the biggest mistake is that we took it away eventually, but you guys should have grade 13. Kids are too young going away to school.
Agreed.
Too young, 100% too young. So I was a year older than all of my sort of peers, my first year. But I'm in that gym, and I'm kind of the only person that can hit on my team. Everybody else is like short, kind of athletic, but we're not that good anymore. And they're just setting me front row, back row. Who cares? I don't know. And I'm hitting everything because it's like my first tournament back, and I'm like loving life. And they told me I wouldn't walk again. Like, you're just going to be worried about walking. Don't even worry about playing volleyball.
Yeah. Sure.
And the assistant coach at the time, Patty, for Michigan State, she was there scouting a girl from the Peel Selects, and she just noticed, like, who's this girl that's getting every set across the gym? And that's how she saw me. And I had a whirlwind tour. I drove with my mom. I had no idea what the NCAA was. I had no idea. Right? Kind of knew, didn't really know. I'm like, what conferences? What? No idea. A clueless Canadian. And we went and toured. I think I was at Ferris State. I think I went to some other school. Ferris State, I was like, as soon as they said they monitor food, I was like, get me out of here. Right? No, thank you.
Couldn't have played for Brian at Long Beach then either. So
no, thank you.
Absolutely right.
So that's kind of how it happened. I was scouted in April. I went for my trips probably in May or June, and I signed. And I was on the provincial team for that year. So I literally was at the National Teams Challenge Cup in August. I had 2 days at home. I turned 19. Yay, you're legal in Canada. Oh, go to the States.
Nope.
So, and at that point, so we're going to roll right into this then. Chuck Irby, who used to coach at USC.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're from the West Coast, you know Chuck.
Of course.
Yeah.
And, known as an intense coach, and found himself looking for a job, and Michigan State hired him. And Michigan State was the bottom of the Big Ten for about 9 years in a row. An automatic W for whoever they were playing.
Sure. Yep.
I was his first recruiting class along with 5 other freshmen. And he really sort of hung his hat on local girls. Every single girl but me was from Michigan. And, you know, nobody knew who we were.
Right.
And I walked in after some pretty intense training. Christine Drakic, who currently coaches at University of Toronto, is also intense. She gives Chuck a run for his money for sure. And after a summer with her, I'm like, Chuck looks like a kitten compared to
Teddy bear.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm going to be fine. And in 2 years, he took us from the bottom to winning a Big Ten title. It was, I didn't think it would happen in my time, right? I went to Michigan State because the appeal was you can make an immediate impact. Reed, you
right
probably
away.
get to play right away.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't sit the bench well. I know for myself, I don't sit the bench well. So when I'm talking to a lot of these, you know, Canadian athletes that, oh, I want to go play D1 and I want to, who you want to play for? Penn State. I'm like, well, if they don't know who you are now, you're not going anywhere.
It's still today.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's even only been made more competitive by the portal.
Yeah.
And we are, but all these kids that, you know, of course everybody wants to play for Nebraska or something. And I'm like, guys, you don't understand the recruiting boards, right? Like when I tell parents that they see kids in grade 6, like there's grade 6 and 7 and 8 on recruiting boards, they don't believe me. I'm like,
oh yeah,
I've walked in and I've seen the boards. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, a couple of years ago, Nebraska had those twins, the Rosen twins. They committed them in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Can't do that now, but they did. So yeah, you're not joking to anybody when you say 6th, 7th grade. Yep.
No, I think I just saw a video on Instagram of somebody that was showing a U13 tournament, and some of these players are playing like fully grown women, right?
Yep.
And that's going to roll into our next discussion about, here, look at this guy.
Oh yeah. Hi.
Oh, so cute. What's his name?
That's Bartholomew.
Nice.
Of course, Bartholomew.
Barty, he likes to party. That's what he does. Sorry.
We got a little kitten too. We found Tucker, and he's a little fucker. Let me tell
There
you.
you go. Right.
That's why we call him Tucker.
Right. You gotta
And
say.
by the way, I think we need to leave both of these segments on the pod because it makes it just brilliant. That's what's so great about this show is just,
on that one.
so, you know, Dana, listening to your story is remarkable, and that's why I wanted to bring you on here, because I think it's at least somewhat unique so far for who we've talked to. You know, you were in Canada, United States volleyball. I'd love you to talk. Before I give you all the accolades, give us the difference between high school volleyball in Canada and the United States and college volleyball in Canada and the United States.
It's literally like the level. So it's like your high school teams could easily beat our college. So college for us is different than university. College are 1 to 2 year programs. I guess that's JC for you guys.
Okay. Yeah, JC
college.
Right?
That's what Bear does. Bear's
Right?
oh, sorry, hold on. Bear likes to call it community college because he's a
Thank
coach
you.
there. I'll call it junior college. You call it junior college, Dana, but he likes to call it community.
Okay, community college.
Thank you so much.
Yes, community college. So I would say that I would hazard a guess. So this is a guess. Don't hold me to this. I might catch a lot of hate for this. We are way less organized because is your girls' volleyball season first in high
It's in the
school?
fall.
Yeah,
It's in the fall. High school is in the fall.
It's in the fall.
just finished.
It's right
Yeah, we're
now.
finishing up now, and then the guys are in the spring.
Yes. So I think that ours is in the winter.
Oh,
So this is
basketball.
this is going to be a big convolute. The biggest difference is the way that we schedule it means our high school, we're not organized, right? So you guys train in high school, you have coaches that will train in the summertime.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
For high
towards the end
school,
of summer for the
not a
girls. Yeah.
chance. It's like whoever shows up in the gym, that's your tryout, and then you have a 6-week, like it's Mickey Mouse. At the risk of saying it's Mickey Mouse, right?
Yep.
So I would hazard a guess that some of your elementary kids could probably beat our high school kids, right?
Well,
your junior college kids would give our universities, some universities around for their money, right? Like it depends, and the levels really do differ, right? We don't have, so the thing that we lack is volume. You guys have us beat in sheer volume, the numbers of athletes that you have, which is why you're such a machine and why you're so competitive, is we can't compete with the sheer numbers. Now it's exploding up here, but our club season is so unbelievably long. They start competing, their first tournaments are in November 1st. Tournaments start in November. Okay.
Yeah, the tryouts here are usually like October 31st, right around Halloween.
So listen to this. Look at my face. Oh my God.
It's usually from the 4th of July to Halloween is their time off because that's high school.
The time, you said time off?
Yeah. So high school girls. Oh yeah, time off. I get you.
There's no, just wait. Just
well, there's no real
this.
time off though, to be honest with you. So
there's no time off. So November 1st is the first, like Ontario Volleyball, the first OVA sanctioned events are in November, right?
Okay.
November, December, they get a 2-week break where they don't do anything over Christmas break.
okay.
January, February, March. Provincials are in April. Then you have about 3 weeks to train because nationals are in May. There is 1 week between nationals, the last week of nationals, and the first beach event.
Oh, beach. Yeah.
Right? And so now we have these rules, and I don't know how you guys run it, but we have these rules where you can offer spots to your returning teams within a certain time frame at the end of the season, which apparently is new. And now what the clubs are doing, they're allowed to hold what's called open gyms. So these open gyms are basically, you fill a gym with 60 kids. Maybe you're looking for 2 spots, but it's $20 a kid, $30 a kid, right? And it's literally all summer long.
Yeah, we
So I had one girl who wanted to do some beach training with me, and she was already training beach 3 nights a week. She was going to 2 open gyms a week, and she was doing weights twice a week. And I'm like, where exactly are you fitting my training in?
What's the burnout factor up there?
Like,
I mean, kids getting burned out on this?
Yeah. Peaked. I've already had the injuries, especially this year. So that new whole open gym thing just happened for the first time this past summer. And I'm already seeing and hearing of so many more injuries, even before at the start of the season. It's crazy.
We talk about it all the time. I talked about it yesterday with my friends about basketball, but like, you played in the European model, which we'll get to in a little bit, but I think we play too much, at least here in the United States, and we don't train enough. And so there's just so many games, and it's so long where, like, you just mentioned like 12 and 13-year-olds. Like, where do they get to go have fun? Where do they get to go be 12 and 13-year-olds and like going to the beach or the lake or the mountains or the desert or the whatever? And like, there's no time for that. And then when you do have that, it's rushed. And then they play 10, 11 and a half months out of the year. And it's just, it's too much down here, the way they do it. But I was, I was just curious of the differences behind it.
Do you guys get to play like multiple sports up there, or is it like you play volleyball and that's all you play? Or you play hockey, that's all you play? Or
well, hockey is its own beast. I'm not going to touch the hockey thing. But I think it's sort of preying on a parent's FOMO, right? Like, am I doing enough? I want to give my kid everything, like blah, 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 right? And look, I'm a parent too. I have a 12 and a 13-year-old boy. My 13-year-old's just interested in sports. Just now. He's 6'2", and he's just. I know.
What tells you? Played at a community college in Southern California.
Yeah, I would love for him to go.
How tall is your husband?
He's 6'3".
Okay.
Does he want to play at a community college?
You don't want him.
There's a coach. He's just trying to get anyone he can.
I need some players.
He's a football player.
Okay.
He's a football
We'll take
player.
anybody, but all right.
But my 12-year-old swims. right? Swimming is a whole
Oh, yeah.
moly if you have anybody that swims. Can
Yep.
people be multiple sport people? I don't know if anybody can really be multiple sport anymore. I think it depends on the level. And I think what's lacking, and I'm sure it's lacking for you guys, is there is no sort of, I like this sport and I just want to play house league and get a little bit better, have some development, but it's like full gas pedal. So it's either rep or nothing up here, right? It's either like there's no programs, there's barely any programs for boys, right? So that's what I'm finding is like maybe I have to start running something for boys because they come to the sport so much later than girls.
Yeah.
Because they develop later, and because when you're in Canada, you know,
Hockey.
everyone plays hockey first. It's hockey, basketball, and baseball, right? It's volleyball's really high coordination. Rebound sports are not easy for kids, right? Like tennis and racket sports and that stuff is traditionally pretty hard. I think volleyball's hard for little kids. I do.
Yeah, it's a lot to it, right? You got to learn the hand-eye and the technical sport.
And like
sure.
guys, my boys, like my 6'2" guy is growing into his body, but he's grown 6 inches in a year.
Yeah, he's a baby giraffe right now.
Right, exactly. So we have a long way to go, and I think as long as the money is driving it, I don't think very much is going to change. I would love, because I think your club season, your competition starts in January, correct?
For the girls, yes.
Yep.
Like, oh my God, that's the dream. I wish. Because now what's happening, and I used to actually do a lot of clinics in September and some prep stuff in August, but the clubs have taken that over, right? They're running panicky open gyms until the very end, and people are going to 3 open gyms in a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now all of those sort of, okay, we've made our team, it's September, October is our development month. Now people that aren't affiliated with the OVA are starting to run their own tournaments. So there's invitationals every single weekend, right? And so now it's like, now the season's actually starting in October.
Yeah, and like you said, it's the parents don't want to miss it. FOMO. It's like, oh my God, we got to play. And I'm going to answer your question to go back to what you said. Yes. The death of rec sports is what I call it. I feel like I should write a book about it. Or I can't really write, so maybe do a podcast about it.
ChatGPT now.
Or just give my ideas and let Mooney write it. But it's a big problem here, Dana, just like yours, is because it's either all or nothing. It's like you're playing club and you're spending all this money when all your kid wants to do is she or he's a different athlete. They just want to go play the sport and have fun.
Right.
I think clubs, they kind of cater to it, but they don't, at least down here. I think they should do both. You want to have the full bore, you want to spend whatever it is, 12, 15 grand and travel around and try to get a scholarship. They should also have almost like a minor leagues to that. And the minor leagues isn't the goal to get to that team. It's to just have fun and learn the game and play.
Yeah.
Play one tournament a month, have a clinic once a week or twice a week, come when you can. And then on top of that, if those girls or boys are doing this at 10, 11, 12, 13, and they fall in love with it, you go, wow, you're pretty good. Then maybe they want to go play club. But now there's no that second part. There might be a clinic or two. It's just play club, spend the money, be on the 16-32 team, and play on court 92. And no coaches are coming to watch you. And no, that's not happening. If you enjoy the process of the club part, and I've said this before, and I will go back and say I would have done this for my kids. If they enjoy what you talked about, being on a team, traveling, getting on the bus with your friends, going into a tournament somewhere, being at their friend's house, doing all of that stuff, to me, I will spend any amount of money for my children to live that kind of experience. But that's not what the people are doing. They're doing it so they can play a sport to get better and maybe get a scholarship or move somewhere, move on with it instead of paying for the experience. So yeah, death of rec sports needs to change. And like you said, with the money driving everything, I don't know if that's possible.
I think it's been really interesting as a Canadian, especially, to see exactly how much the portal has changed, how competitive everything is. And what used to be a small amount of opportunities, especially for freshmen, has even gotten smaller.
Yeah.
Right? So when I first heard about, I think I try to go down back to school once a year. for a volleyball weekend and hopefully football if it can coordinate. But when I heard about the portal, I was like, oh my God, what? Like you don't have to sit out, like
Right. Wild
and I don't want to call it a punishment, but there needs to be a consequence of you. It's that loyalty thing, right?
Yep.
So all of that sort of like former scandal that like, oh my God, you're leaving a club, right? Like we're not incentivizing the kids to stay, and it's not about giving them stuff. It's like, it's like the death of amateur sport for me.
It is heartbreaking. We talk about it all the time, and it's a catch-22 with a lot of ways. And then you throw the money into it. The problem, I agree with you. I think they lost the lawsuit. I think they need to figure out a way to go back to the one-time transfer. I think that's fine personally, except there's caveats. That's the problem. If your coach gets fired, if your coach leaves, like then you should have the opportunity to transfer again. And if you graduate, you can do whatever you want. So you actually get two transfers, in my opinion. Your first 4 years, or if you end up going 5 years, if you have another year and you graduate, you fulfilled your obligation to the university. You graduated, you did what they wanted, you did what they wanted. If you want to go somewhere and go get a master's and do what you want, I think you have every right, and there should be no penalty for that.
Right.
But I just read today, because the portal just opened up recently for the women's college volleyball, and someone just put her name in the portal, had a for school in 4 years. And so, and you know, like, I don't know. I'm not judging because I've been through it. Jake went through the portal, and for different reasons, and everyone has their different reasons. So I can't not say it's right, wrong, or indifferent for others, but we've lost what it's all about. And the team and the camaraderie. Look at us, Dana, you're younger than us, but we talk about this all the time. What do you do when you're in your 30s and 40s? Where's the friends that you learned and earned and went through all the heartaches and the hardships and the boyfriend breakups and the girlfriend breakups, and your friends were there for you and the parties, and like, you get to do that with Dana 1 year, and then I never talk to you again. Then I go to Sully's and I get to do it with Sully and he's out. And then I go to Bear, and then you're worried about your life. And like, we had some times, and maybe you come across that one person in that 1 year, but you're just destroying all of that. And as you live your life in the long term, like we all are growing through it, that you can't get back, you can't go find again. And then, I don't know, I just think that is a huge problem piece for me of it all is that I do think one transfer, from me personally, that's my opinion, but I agree with you. It's made it a cluster fuck. And I will say that, and we can put that on for a lot of people. The programs, the kids, the fans. I mean,
coaches are finally speaking out. They're finally speaking out. They're not afraid anymore. Football and basketball coaches are being very verbal right now.
Yes.
And especially the coaches. Like, the coaches are leaving before the season is even over because they have a better opportunity, right? So they're weighing in on both. I mean, I just saw one today, and they're saying, hey, this morning, Charles just went in the transfer portal, and the coach is like, oh, he did? Yeah, well, we haven't talked to Charles yet. And he was just like blank faced. He's like, what do you want me to do? Like, we didn't even know about it. He's in the portal. You're telling me as a reporter? That's how it's going. That's what's going on right now. So at least the top dogs are talking about it, say things have to change, and some of the ideas that you guys brought up today, they're bringing those stuff up as well. So it's gonna be interesting in the next 24 months, I think. If there
has to be contractually based. That's the only way you can do it. And listen,
with the money too. With the money, I don't disagree, CK. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and I'll go back, and I don't want to go too far, but like Washington State, my son's going to play basketball next year at Washington State. The football coach I'm going to be here. I can't wait. Signs like 30 recruits or 20 recruits. Two days later, he leaves to Iowa State. Like, they're playing in a bowl game. This is his first year at Washington State. He's just been there. They went 6-6. They're going to a bowl game. He sits down. And again, I'm not mad at him. If someone offered me $20 million to go to a different job, I'm taking it, and I don't care. I'm sorry. But at the same time, that's the problem. So then the athlete for all these years has been like, wait, I can't go. I'm stuck here at this school. He just left. Well, there's a buyout. Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to go back, and then I'll stop talking because Dana, I talk a lot,
this is supposed to be about Dana, but that's
I know. Nothing's changed, Dana.
Everything's about Coley, Barry.
Yeah, nothing's changed. You know that. She knows that. Come on. No, but is the fact is like if there's a coach that wants to leave, there's a buyout. So like Iowa State has to pay Washington State $4 million, and he's going to Iowa State, which Iowa State has the money, big deal. So if we're going to do this and there's buyouts for coaches, there has to be some kind of contractual language with to the athlete. If it's NIL driven too, give the NIL back. If you're to the school itself, pay the scholarship back. Or you're stuck in your contract for 2 years. But there has to be a way to be out both ways because, again, buyout. If you're in a contract for a year and you're in a scholarship to, let's say, like Braden's going to Washington State and Michigan State wants him to come play basketball. Okay, he's in a 2-year contract. You want to break the contract? You have to give Washington State $10 million.
Yeah, I like
if you
that.
want to give Washington State $10 million and give the kid NIL and whatever, great, no problem. Washington State will take $10 million for Braden. But they're not going to take another just get out. So, again, I think that's the only way up at least this piece right now is it contractual for both the athletes. Well, obviously the coach is already in contract. But if you do that, Dana, they're not amateur anymore. And then you're signing up professionally contracts with the school. But again,
it's changed so much. It's so crazy how much has changed. Even since, when I was in the Big Ten back in the day, the Big Ten was 11 teams, and now it's like 22 or 37 or whatever the hell it is.
50,
it's like,
whatever it is.
Now, I might be biased because I hate Nebraska because we lost to them in the national semifinal. But it's like when I found out Nebraska was coming, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Come on. Right? It's hard to keep track.
UCLA and USC are in the Big Ten. It's so Oregon is in the Big Ten. It's just crazy to think about the way, and again, it's not driven based off of tradition. It's driven off of one thing. It's called money. And that's it. That's all it is.
Hey, so back in the day for you, when you were named All-American, how many players were on that first team All-American list?
Probably 6.
No, I think it was 12.
I would doubt that.
Because they made it as a team?
Well,
I bet if you look it up.
Me and Val. So I played with the other opposite middle from me. Let's talk about short middles right now, Sully.
Yeah, love it.
Short middles unite. We don't have to be tall. We just have to be faster and smarter than everybody.
Quick.
That's right.
And so I played opposite of Val Sturck, who also ended up playing for your national team for a few years. And she had the #1 hitting percentage for almost an entire season. She hit like well into the 400s in every single match. That's who I was chasing. Val. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
All-American.
Mooney did this too. All-American thing. Oh yeah. So Val was an All-American that year. I believe Jenna Roble. Maybe Jenna. Yes, I think Jenna was. So Jenna
was the first
Roble, I think so. She was the #1 recruit in the nation. We got her. God, we were a nobody team. I remember playing in Hawaii. I'm going to take you back here. So the Mountain Region Final was a game against Hawaii. And if you want to see some scrunchies in action and some like bad Friends-inspired eyebrows, you go find that. That's still on YouTube. And side-out scoring, of course, right? The old side-out scoring, a white ball. And they were undefeated. And Dave Shoji was coaching. And they had, on paper, and in person, so playing at Hawaii. You guys would have played Hawaii, right?
Yeah, I played all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they're insane for volleyball.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like 10,000 people. 10,000 people to watch a volleyball game.
It's still like that, by the way.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's like deafening, right? Absolutely deafening. I remember as soon as, and we were nobody. This was the second time the program had even made the NCAA tournament in our history.
Right.
So
Huge.
This is my junior year, and we go there, and I think we beat Arizona the night before. Maybe Santa Barbara. I can't remember who it was. We beat somebody. And I was panicking only because I was like, holy shit, our whole transition is audible. We're not going to be able to hear each other.
Oh, right.
So from a tactical perspective, I was panicking. I think the rest of the team was like a bit of deer in headlights.
Yeah.
And you'll see it because the first 2 sets, they just manhandle us. They had Therese Crawford, they had Robin Amau setting them.
Yeah.
They had like just a crazy team. The girl that I was matched up against was Angelica Lindqvist, who was a 6'4".
From Sweden, right?
Yes, I am on paper 6 feet, but we're rounding up everybody. So it was the only time I had ever questioned Chuck's. I put my hand up when we got the scouting report, and I'm like, because the other middle isn't 6'4". She's like, maybe 6'2". I'm like, God, what am I going to do against 6'4"? I don't jump well. I'm an average white woman, like I'm not lighting it up.
Right.
And I was like, are you sure you want me? Because Val's 6'2", right? It's like kind of the only time I was like, wait a minute, did we really think about this? And he just looked at me. He's like, yep, Dana. And I'm like, okay, all right. Don't question Chuck.
Yeah.
And I don't like to lose. Everybody likes winning. I'm a really bad loser. I'm a bad loser.
Good to know.
Really bad. So I get really mad. And we weren't playing well. And we couldn't stop them. And we took, the game break in between 2 and 3. And we had a senior setter. And she sort of gave us this fire up pep talk. And after that, I kind of pulled her aside and I said, you have to give me the ball. I'm like, everybody's basically shitting their pants, right? That's not really, well, that was my perception. So sorry, teammates. But I'm like,
real.
Yeah. And the thing that I feel like I brought to the team was I didn't jump the best. I wasn't the flashiest player. I didn't make a lot of errors, and I knew how to get a point. Now, it might have been a tip or a hit off the block or a roll shot. I roll shotted so many balls from the back row, from a pipe ball, just over top of the block in that match. Like that kind of stuff.
She
right?
played in the back row. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, and she was getting set the pipe, which is amazing.
Yes.
Like and subscribe.
Yep, like and subscribe, set the pipe. By the way, you need to send this out all to Canada, all 12 provinces.
So I was a 6 rotation middle, right? And I love passing. It's like I love passing. So, and all of us, that Chuck was very adamant that we all did everything. And we were trained like that. Everybody. Everybody did
Still
everything.
should be trained like that, but
yes, I agree.
Because we didn't have liberos back then. We had DSs, but we didn't have liberos.
Sure.
So, long story short, we end up, spoiler alert, we end up winning in 5.
Excellent.
And I kind of have a really good night. I laid it up, you know?
Yeah.
It's okay.
And I'm blocking stuff and I'm just getting points. And then I go on the world tour and I remember seeing Angelica's name, Lindqvist, and she played with another woman, Lindqvist. And I'm like, I wonder if that's, because I'm like, Sweden. I'm like, no, that's probably a pretty common name. I'm like, I wonder if it's her. And then I see her around and I'm like, oh my God, it's her. Now, when we beat them, because that was their sort of, this was the year that they were supposed to go undefeated. We had 6 fans in the stands. And it got quieter and quieter and quieter. And we beat them and it made front page news in every, like, I have clippings and they have the girls are on the bench with their heads in their hands, and that was on the front page. Like, we ruined their ride a bit.
Really?
In nobody's school. There were so many signs that were like MSU who, and I'm like, nah. Right? Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So I'm in Moscow and I'm in the med tent, and she walks in and I'm like, maybe she doesn't remember who I am, right? I tend to think people don't know who I am, right? So she walks in and she looks at me and she goes, you. And I'm like, oh oh shit.
You remembered.
I'm like, I'm gonna get slapped right now, right? I don't know what's gonna happen. She's like, you ruined my senior year. We were supposed to win everything. Oh my God. And I'm like, ah. And I'm, the Canadian in me is like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, I really should say I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Right.
Like, I feel bad for you, but I don't regret beating you guys. So, anyways, she was
That's a
lovely.
great story.
And we ended up being very, very good friends.
Oh, good.
But she was lovely. And then, so in Chuck's wisdom, so it was that Final Four that year was Texas, Stanford, us, and
Nebraska. Yeah. You mentioned that earlier.
We couldn't stop Allison Weston. We just couldn't. Couldn't stop her.
Mooney's last match ever was to Nebraska, so
Dude,
she can't stand him either.
Unstoppable. And then Chuck thought it would be a great idea. So we go into that following season, and the coaches poll comes out, preseason coaches poll, and we're ranked number 1. Now, that's a very different mentality than MSU who. Right? Mm-hmm. The advantage, I think, for us that second year in the tournament was we had nothing to lose. We were the underdogs.
Yeah.
We just we could play free from that place of like, we had no pressure.
Now there's expectations.
Right? And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh boy, we don't, like, mentally, I know that our team doesn't know quite how to handle that.
Yeah.
Right?
That's different.
So this is number 2.
Okay.
There's 2 of them. So he decides in his infinite wisdom to invite Stanford and was it Texas?
And early scouting.
3 of the 4 teams. Or was it Nebraska? I would have remembered that. I feel like it was he invited Texas and Stanford to a preseason tournament. And from the get-go, I'm like, this is a bad idea. You know when you're watching a horror movie and you're like, don't go in that room.
Yeah, don't do it.
It's a bad idea.
Oh, they did it.
Right? I was like, mentally, if we don't, like, I wouldn't have done it as a coach because I know that we didn't have the basis of, it's a very different mentality if you're a winning team.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody wants to have their best game against you. Everybody wants to knock you down. And that, I think, is really, really hard. And you see it in beach all the time. And you see it with top teams all the time. And it's a completely different mindset. The dynamic is so different than when you're trying to just climb your way up. And Carrie Walsh was a freshman, right? And I'd heard about her, and she's ripping jump spin serves. So she goes up, and I'm beside Jenna. And Jenna and I are arguably the best passers on the team. And she goes up and rips this jump serve. I'm like, oh, that's out, right? And I kind of track it, and it hits just like the last inch of the line. And I was like, okay, all right, no big deal. 1 serve, right? Tosses, same exact serve, same exact spot. And I'm like,
oh boy.
We're in for a long
I just look at Jenna
day.
and I'm like, oh, fuck, we're in it now. Right? Like, right? We did not, and I think we didn't do well. I think we lost. And I think that was that kind of derailed. That was really tough for us mentally to come back from.
Yeah.
Now, the season before, in preps for that sort of like, I think we went 32-2 the season that we beat Hawaii. Chuck took us over to Japan for 16 days of what my teammates will call volleyball hell. I showed up late because I was actually allowed to go to my sister's wedding, which was a big deal.
Yeah.
Have a big deal.
That was a big discussion with Chuck. So it almost didn't happen.
Yeah.
So
tough.
I came a few days late, and that was like insane watching. So we went to a place called Dae, who was Ari Selinger, who this is funny, Coley, because I saw him in our cantina in Amstelveen in Holland.
Really?
Because he's Dutch. He's Dutch.
Yes.
So if you look up Ari Salinger, he's a legendary program. Typically for the men's team, he took them basically to the Dutch team to the Olympics in I think the 80s. He ends up at this professional sort of compound in Japan, in Osaka. And so they have a pro team there. They've got a junior pro team, and they have like community colleges and
Thank you.
other.
Great job, Dana.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
I learned, and it's like a training facility. So they host international players, but then they also have like community players, all ages. Everybody looks the same. All these Japanese athletes, and it's like a machine. It's like I've never seen training like this before.
Yeah.
Right. After the third, I think it was like we did 3 sessions for 3 hours or something. It was an insane amount of volleyball. And then at the end of that, everybody dragged these big cafeteria tables, and all of the Japanese players did like box hops onto tables in unison, the whole gym, like at the end of a 9-hour training day.
Oh,
I was just like, what is going on? Right? Like, and our strength coach is like, oh my God. And I'm like, don't get any ideas.
I'll bring
Don't
it back
get
home
any
for us.
fucking ideas. So we probably played about, I sort of calculated it out. We probably played about 60-ish sets, individual sets
Wow.
the time we were there, right? Like just like individual games here and there. Like quite a lot a day. And, you know, Jenna, we have the number one recruit in the nation. We have Val Sturck. We've got Jennifer Whitehead, who's a 6'3", right side. Like we're a good team.
Yeah.
You know, I'm used to Jenna putting the ball down and stopping. Like she could almost touch 11 feet. She's got giant man-sized mitts, and she can bury a ball. Like she used to stop our gym. When she hit a ball at the attack line, we'd just be like,
Oh, boom.
holy shit. Right? Anyways, Jenna would go hit a ball, and it would be like this far from the ground, and we'd be like, yeah. And like some Japanese girl would just be like, no, bink, you know, and like not just up, but
Perfect.
like up,
In
transition,
system.
2.5, in system, like ridiculous balls, like
Wow.
over and over again. And the ball just kept coming back, right? Like we were throwing everything we had at them, right? And here I am trying to be smart, and it's just like, oh my God, I can't. We just ended up screwing the ball up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yep.
plus they blew their balls up so tight.
Yeah.
They hurt. Yeah.
Oh my God, right? Like so unforgiving. So
Yeah.
if your platform wasn't ideal, it was like bing,
Like
shank,
really small
shank.
sweet spot on those.
We
Yeah.
didn't win one set.
Jeez.
Not one. In 2 weeks, not one.
Trip from
So
hell.
we come back. Our first game's against Indiana, or at least the one that I remember. I could be making that up. And we serve. I'm at the net. We serve. And I don't know. Maybe we dug the ball. I don't know. It didn't come back over. And I was standing at the net. We
Strange.
got the point, but it didn't register.
Yeah. Strange.
Right? I had like trauma from the ball coming back
PTSD.
over.
Yeah.
I'm getting smoked.
Right? I'm like,
Yeah. We
and
didn't have
Jenna's
to
like,
earn that
Dana,
point.
Dana, we got the point. And I'm like, what?
It hasn't happened in so
We
long.
did?
Yeah.
And I think if you look at what's crazy about that season is if you look at the actual the scores, it's like we almost beat every single team in 3.
Mm.
We just came home, and I don't know if we were also sick of losing, but we just rolled over everybody.
Well, I played higher
Yeah.
competition, right? You had
Like,
to
it
earn
was
those points
just-
a lot more. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Over in Japan.
It was insane.
Yeah.
The run through drills, like the Japanese coach took over our drill once, and Chuck really sort of revered the Japanese style of training. Very high tempo, very technical, a lot of repetitions. And he used to sit on a box on the other side of the net and just bounce the ball just under the net, and you do your run through.
Yeah.
And run throughs.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Anyways, Japanese guy takes over, one of the coaches, and he stands on your side, and he literally is holding a ball like this, and he just sort of drops it. Right? So I show up. I haven't been here for like 4 or 5 days, and the girls see me, and they're like, "Oh my God, Dana, you don't know what's been going on." And I'm like, "Oh my God, what's been going on?" And so I'm the first one in this room. I don't know why they made me go first. Probably did it to me on purpose.
The new
And I think he dropped the ball, like by accident, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't. And the girls' faces, Jenna's like, "Dana, get the ball." And I'm like,
Go for the ball.
"What do you mean?" I'm like, "He dropped the ball." She's like, "No, that's the ball." And I'm like,
That's
"What?"
drill.
And he does it again. She's like, "Dana, get the ball." I'm like,
That's
"Oh
awesome.
my God." I'm like, "There's no way. There's no way. He just dropped the ball." It's like, "Oh no, that's the ball you have to get." I'm like,
It's impossible.
Oh, yeah.
terror, that inner terror.
So I'm going to go back to the question that I asked about how many were on your Big Ten
Yeah.
right list.
Can you tell me?
This year, there's 25 on the first team.
Yeah, but there's also like 20 teams there, so it's different.
What?
No,
So
it's
everybody
different.
gets a player.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying they probably had to increase it for that. Like, when you look at being an All-American, that's what I said. I thought you were talking about All-American. There's 6. That's it. It's like in basketball. There's five guys that make first team All-American.
First team.
There's 6.
There's first team, second team, third team, right?
Yeah. So, but in
Yeah.
Big Ten, if it's Big Ten, they may do more than 6 because there's obviously a libero, which makes 7. So you'd make that in today's world.
20.
And since there's so many teams, I can see them doing. That's a lot of women to be on
Yeah.
first team Big Ten.
Four from Nebraska, 3 from Indiana,
My face.
2 from Penn State.
Is that
3
this year?
from Purdue, right? I'm reading them right now. 3 from
Did
Purdue.
Charlie make it?
3 from UCLA, 3 from Wisconsin. Charlie and Mimi both from Wisconsin as well.
First team?
Carter Booth, first team.
That's beautiful.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
So Dana,
Twenty-five.
we've been talking for almost an hour. We usually do hour and 15, whatever. Are you feeling comfortable? You want to stay a little bit longer?
Yeah,
Good.
I'm all good. I have so many more stories, Coley.
I know you do. And that's why the thing is, we've asked everyone for this, is what I think we need to do is have another time where you're on in the next few weeks, a month. And at the same time, I'll have someone sitting next to me to jump in. And so I think that would be fun. Mooney would probably love to be on that, and we can just talk. But I'm going to pivot a little bit because you talked about Japan. You talked about the training. I do feel we need to get better at just training and practice because, like, when we were kids, all we did was go outside and play or go outside and practice, and then you'd play one game. Now it's you play 30 games and you practice once. So what I want to ask you about is, so you play in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, you get to go to Michigan State. You're a superstar. Like, we already went over this. Bear asks this because he got to do it. Sorry, Sully, you didn't.
Yeah.
But Bear and I both got to play in Europe, and
Yes.
as did you. So you're an All-American at Michigan State. You win a couple Big Tens. Once you graduate, you're about to be done. How does that transition work for you personally to get over to Europe to become an athlete?
Because it's not like it is today, right? I mean, we're in the internet, social media, all that kind of stuff is a little bit more accessible.
No, it's like
right?
so.
Yeah,
the only
what's it
reason,
like playing in another country?
well,
I mean, you
story
did it in
about
America
Mooney.
and Holland, so I mean, you got to have
Yeah.
some stories on that.
I have a hilarious story about Mooney, actually.
Don't say
She's
that.
gonna like that.
Yes.
So I could have graduated. I did actually. I graduated in 4 years, and my scholarship was good for 5. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna have like the best last year. Like, I'm just gonna take whatever courses I want, and do whatever. I made sure I took extra classes so I could graduate in the spring. And I got a call from my setter, who somehow had found her way over in Holland, and she said, hey, they're looking for what they call it is a passer loper, which is a passer runner or a passer outside hitter. It's what they call it, passer runner. And I'm a good passer and I can swing outside. My senior year, we ended up running a 3 medal system. It's just my favorite.
Interesting.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
I don't think I am.
Oh, you guys, I'm going to teach you some stuff. So that's how I ended up there, was through Courtney.
Okay.
Courtney and I, it's funny, we never really got along off the court. On the court, she's a great setter. We respect each other very much. We get along great now. But, you know, just those people that just, you don't sort of jive with off the court. But she was a great setter. She knew when to listen to Chuck and when not to listen to Chuck. And I respected her for that because I'm not always a great rule follower. 3-middle system. Let's talk about that.
Let's hear it.
Let's talk about that because you were playing it down in Europe.
That's
3-middle system.
Teach
I've
us.
heard that.
Is,
I think we actually did
so
it.
you do this.
Drawing it up.
I am.
Yeah, she is.
Did you
Whiteboard.
guys do that in Long Beach a little bit or no? Sorry.
Right. Okay.
No.
I don't know. Can you see? Can you see
might have
that?
been a Hilliard. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Can you see that?
kind of.
Well, you're so blurry right now. Oh, yeah. So
We
M2
can
on the
see.
left, outside,
Yes,
M3 on
yes,
the
yes,
right,
yes,
outside,
we can see
middle.
it.
Okay, setter, okay.
Well, actually, so yes. So you basically
So your
you run
M2
your
is
three.
like opposite of the setter.
You run your 3 middles in a triangle.
Yep.
Right. So you have your first middle that runs beside your setter, and they're your most true middle because they're going to be beside the setter. Right.
Yep.
Your next most diverse middle is going to be in the front row with that other middle once.
Opposite.
So she's the real middle is going to be the middle, and then you guys can choose who plays right and who plays left.
Okay.
So I was actually M3. So
Okay.
that the year, my senior year, Courtney graduated. So we had a smaller, sort of undersized setter. Julie was great. She came from Spry. The rest of us were the same, but we ran this system. And I was the third middle, and that's usually your most diverse middle. So if I was in position 4, I would hit left. When I was in 3, I hit middle. And when I was in 2, I hit right side. I passed from 6 and 5, and I would run. It gives you a ton of freedom to make
because
crazy.
You can do double quicks, and you can do just
You
right
can.
sides.
You
Yeah.
can run tandems.
Yep.
You can run
Tandems,
X's. You can. And I actually did this with my own community college team, my college team, and I got called. I got a couple of red cards because the refs didn't know. They didn't know who was in the front row and who was in the back row.
It's not traditional. Yeah.
Because it's not traditional, right?
Yep.
And then in one rotation, my setter got pulled out. A tall right side got put in when she was in the front row, and I got to set and transition.
Wow.
So I was like,
Oh, all middles love to set.
because all middles want to be setters.
Oh,
Yes,
they do. They do.
We all
They
think
do,
we're
they
setters.
do.
Don't kid yourself. We're like, we can set.
Right.
We're great.
I
I'll
love
run
it.
the team.
It's the best. I love that system. Now, it just, if you have people that have high processing and they can play multiple positions,
Yeah, you
it's
gotta have
no
that
problem
personnel,
whether they
for
can
sure.
dig in 6 or 5.
Yeah.
Like Brent Hilliard.
It's super creative, but you need the right personnel. But it's a great system
So
if you have personnel.
So 2 things. I want to get back to you in Europe and talking about getting over there and what made it happen. But one thing I want to say is, don't you think, question more of a maybe rhetorical, but we all talk about this. If we trained the athlete today better to do multiple things, you could be more creative in those kind of offenses. Is that a fair statement?
100%. And I think, so what I see a lot is when I'm doing small groups or privates is, it's really the coaches are doing the kids a disservice by not teaching them everything.
Yeah.
So when I have a middle that comes in and says, well, I don't get put in passing drills, I'm like,
We're going to pass.
you're not going to be a middle always, right? You're 13 years old, or you're 14 years old, or you're 15 years old. Now, I think there's a bit of a development because we have, we don't get to play volleyball until 14 or 15 U here. We play what's called triple ball and TLS, which is traditional, limited, specialized. We have our acronyms.
Yeah.
So I know the OVA president very well, and I have my own frustrations with what we do to limit the kids. Our kids can't receive overhand until 15U.
I think that's great.
In 13U, I'm working with a 13U team right now. In January, they can run a 6-2. They can't do it now. Their setter can come from 1, but everybody has to set.
Okay, everybody's at 1. Whoever goes to 1 is the setter.
Whoever goes to 1 is the setter.
Yeah,
So are you happy with that or not happy with that?
So I'm not a fan of the triple ball, but I understand it, right? I think it's like a 6 of one, half dozen of the other, because I think we traditionally lag behind you guys in international play, because I think at the highest levels, our athletes can't compete with yours. Now, why is that? You're training all of our national team players, so thank you very much for that.
Yeah,
True, right? They all come with you.
Right?
You're coming.
Because you have the competition, because you have
we have the numbers,
machine and the juggernaut that you do.
Yeah.
At the younger ages, I asked the OVA president this, and she said they apparently love what we're doing by limiting. So we play 4-on-4 on a modified size court for, I think, 13 and unders, a certain amount of 13 and unders. And then so that's 4v4, there's 6v6. So there's a serve, and then there's 2 free balls.
Okay.
So it's not just serving, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
I sent the guys the other day something about, we talk about youth volleyball and why we are so far behind, and Coley thinks we play too much and we don't train enough. But there was a thing about Canadian volleyball that I sent you guys a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And it was like a lowered net, a modified court. They're not just working on the boring thing in volleyball is passing. I'm sorry you like passing and all that, but they're like tossing the ball, they're hitting it over a low net, they're catching it. And they're playing great volleyball.
I don't think is Canadian. Yeah. I have a feeling that's from the States somewhere. And I actually know what I did see. I saw a lot of what you're talking about as far as really great developmental, even fun games and drills. And it was it was in the Netherlands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We don't lower the net.
Okay. Because, it said it was Canadian.
I know what you're talking about, because I did see that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
See, but what you're describing to me sounds more brilliant than the way we do it. The difference is, though, you do need to compete at a high level at some point, and you do And so, like you were talking about this earlier when we first started about 12-year-olds could beat your high school teams. I went to Mooney and I were in Arizona for a hoop tournament. We walked into a volleyball tournament. Guy that went to my college and their college, he actually went to both, because Northridge cut the program. He didn't transfer, but he had no choice because they cut the program. His daughter was playing 12U, and Mooney and I sat there and we watched it, and we were just absolute. This was 2 years ago, and I'm not kidding you. And I'm going to say it with, like, you can hear with the passion. Absolutely blown away on how great the level was. It was like high school volleyball when we played high school volleyball.
Yeah.
At 12U, they're running slides. They're actually running pipes. They're running tempos outside. These are 12-year-olds. That's crazy. These are 12-year-olds, and our friend's son or daughter, she was like 6 feet already at 12. Like he's 6'5", 6'6", and his wife, the mother, was a setter in college. But it was just like I was watching this, and so part of me was like, "Wow, that's amazing! It's come this far." And then the other part of me is like, "Man, our 12-year-old's supposed to be that good?" So polished and so crazy, like so technical, like you're so dialed in that, like, again, where's the progress? I mean, again, I'm torn. I kind of go back and forth, but I was just like, wow, this is an elite level of volleyball at this age. And they were one of the top teams in this country at the 12U level. So, if you went down to court 22, they weren't as good, but, court 22 should probably be doing the drills that you're doing instead of playing down there.
I think it needs to be appropriate, obviously, for level. And this is my frustration, is everybody develops obviously at a different rate. Mm-hmm. So what I see, and my biggest complaint, is there's so much technique and no consideration given for context. So right now we have this big hitting technique thing where I might get a lot of hate for this, but it's fine. Lots of people hate me. These sort of traveling people that come around and run clinics, and they often are run by former international men, right? And they will come in and they will teach you what they know as an international man. So I don't know how it is for you guys, but 80% of our participants up here are female, and 80% of the coaching is male. And when we are talking about especially body development, and there's so many parents I see that are like, we can't serve over the net. And when I work one-on-one with a lot of these kids, I'm like, they will not be able to until they grow into their body. They're just not strong enough yet. It's not about technique. Technique can only take you so far. You actually just have to get bigger and stronger, right? And technique can for sure help, but you know, they're not going to be 5 feet for the rest of their lives. So you just have to be a little bit patient. And so a lot of this sort of, the one thing I see that I really can't stand is the over rotation, where a lot of the cueing now is face this way when you're swinging, and then you need to be landing and facing the other way. And that for me has been taken completely out of context, because that's all finishing motion. That is not focus on the hitting part. So when you instruct children and that's what you hear, that's what they focus on, is the end part, right? Versus all of the other stuff.
Footwork, hands up, push.
Without hitting a ball. So my husband is a biomechanics specialist. He does what's called muscle activation techniques, and he's completely changed how I teach a lot of skills. And he's informed me, because we talk about rotation a lot, right? And he's like, rotation comes from hips. He's like, your spine is actually not great at rotating. What it's actually great at doing is side bending, but nobody talks about side bending. Now, I talk about side bending without talking about side bending, because I focus on off hitting arm really reaching. But when you reach, that's where you get the side bend from, so that you can have access to the top of the ball. And when you see all of these people doing against the wall, right, their arm motions, they're actually maximizing side bend, but you just don't know it because we've never heard that language. So all of these things, and I can always tell who has a male coach, right? And I'm like, and I encourage my kids to ask questions. I'm like, if there's nothing wrong, you're not challenging your coach if you're asking why do we do this? Right? Everybody loves jump serving. Like, that's great. We're adding risk. So risk benefit ratio, how is that working for you? I can jump serve. I have a way less accurate jump serve. I can snipe when I'm standing on the ground. Right? So if I really have to get a team in trouble, I'm not going to jump serve because I lose accuracy. So, but because everybody does it, and every time I ask, and I'm running, I just did a serve and pass clinic yesterday, and I asked my under 14s, why do we jump serve? And nobody knows.
It's the thing to do.
Right? Just because everyone's doing it doesn't mean it's right for you. Right? Like, so it's you have to ask good questions, and it has to be contextually beneficial for you. Right? For you guys, and I don't mean to point at men, but you cause me a lot of grief. Right? Because the ball is the same size, and typically you have giant hands. So a loose hand, a super loose hand, when you're drawing back, even if you guys miss hit, most of the time you have a much bigger chance of actually making a good contact. When I pull back, I put some tension into my hand so that my brain can find it in space and I can get a better contact. But they're having these, like, I can't tell you how many kids have these little garden claw hands that are so loose, and they have teeny tiny hands, and then they wonder why they're mishitting it all the time. Right? Like, it has to make sense.
Interesting.
I could go on for hours.
The follow through gets me here, where they don't care about anything leading up to it, even as you're hitting and making contact. It's the follow through that they're really focused on here.
What's crazy is now they all hit line. I know. Now they all hit line. they have a narrow approach because they're watching. They don't get outside the court anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So they're running straight into the block and they can't hit any sharp angles. I'm like, what is this? What am I watching?
It's strange. Yeah, well, I mean, it's just some people have it to train individually, right? The technical skills, and some people don't. I mean,
yeah.
And
to your point, actually, this I've had, right, you're talking about 12-year-olds running slides.
Yeah.
So good or bad, right? The other side of this coin, even though we might be doing the development part sort of like appropriately, receiving overhand, I don't care too much about, because we weren't allowed to receive overhand.
Yeah.
I think that's why we're all good passers. But I've had 16,
I'm not
17,
really that good, but
yeah, don't put me in that
I did a lot of other things, but definitely not that.
Passing, no.
All right, I'll speak for myself.
Yes,
then.
there you go.
Bear,
Yeah.
Bear, can see. Bear had his moments.
Bear's in between. Dana, you're probably the best passer in this whole group. Let's be honest.
And I was horrible.
Out of the three of us, for sure.
It's
Oh
hard.
God, you guys, come on.
No, yeah.
If I was able to use my hands, I would have been a good passer. But
Yeah.
I wasn't. We weren't able to do
surrounded.
that.
We were
Footwork.
at Long Beach
It's
State.
all
We were surrounded
footwork,
by passers.
gentlemen.
I
It's
know.
all footwork.
I know.
100% footwork.
It's amazing.
Because you guys are taught to play with toes out.
Well, that's how
Because
it's
your ball moves so much faster.
Yeah,
right?
it does.
It's a very different game. Like when you think about it, it's a
No, it
very
is.
different
Totally
game,
different.
right? And I think part of the issue is that we're pulling so much inspiration from international men's volleyball without knowing who we're applying it to.
Yeah.
Right? And that's gotten us into trouble. So the flip side of the development coin is, even though we're doing 4-on-4 and triple ball and all of these things and limiting what the kids can do until it's sort of age appropriate, then I've got kids that walk into my gym that are 17 that don't know how to hit a slide. Right? So all of the time that you guys get in individual position training, we don't get. So that's sort of like, that's a bit of the trade-off. Now it depends obviously on your coach,
Yeah.
right? But like, nobody hits back quicks up here. Nobody.
Yeah.
Right? And so when I run middle sessions, I'm like, we're learning everything today, ladies. You're going to do everything. Right?
Well,
I don't care if you run it or not.
It's like the pipe and the bic. The men's run the bic. The women's right now predominantly run the pipe, but they're trying to call it a bic. It's just not the same, right? Because
No,
they're
it's
two
not the
different
same.
games. It is. It's two different
It
games.
is a very different game.
And they're awesome. Don't get me wrong. I
they're
love watching the women's game.
100% different.
Yep, it's just different. Yep, for
Right?
sure.
This is why you guys frustrate us when we play co-ed volleyball with you, because you don't call balls and you suck at passing.
Yeah, see? Yeah, that's
You're
right.
right.
Team, you're right. Just set us. We're fine.
Yeah.
We can jump and hit though.
Yeah, we can jump
I
in there.
think I had.
It is what it is.
When I run my adult clinics, I keep it light, right? I have like sort of rec intermediate level players.
Best clinics, by the way. Adult clinics are the best.
Yeah.
They are.
We have a good time. We
Yeah,
have a
they
really
are.
good
And
time.
especially if they
I
come
don't
in
take
humble.
it too seriously.
Yeah, if they come in
And-
humble, it's really fun.
They're so funny, and
Yeah.
some of them are so self-deprecating that it's very hilarious. Some of them are really great, and I yell at the men all the time. I was on the group yesterday because nobody was calling the ball. So my rule for serve receive is, if there's 3 passers, there's 3 bodies in motion, and there's 3 voices on the ball. Right? You don't just stand and watch, which is like, that's what everybody does, right? And I'm like, and I just yell, I'm like, this is why the women don't want to play with you, because you guys don't talk. And then you step in front of us, and then you shank the ball.
You're all over
We
it.
have a lot of rage about playing with men.
Apparently. Yeah.
A lot of rage.
Hey, boys, we've been on this for over an hour for sure. And
okay.
I just think we are scratching the surface with Dana. And I agree with Coley, about a month or two, and maybe get your husband on it, because that whole, to talk about that side of volleyball, or even being an athlete in general, I think would be super fun. So we can put up to 8 people on this thing. So
Yeah. So if you'd want to do it with him, Dana, or you'd want him to do it separate, you want to do it together, whatever you would want.
great.
We would love to have him. Like when you text me that, I was like, listen, we started this. And first of all, I have to go back to say this. It is so good to see you. You look the same. It's just amazing that we got to connect. And again, we said this, we're friends still after all these years because of this sport. Right?
Yeah.
You're in Canada. You lived with my wife and played with my wife in Holland. That was years ago. That was in 97 or 98. And you're sitting here on this podcast with us and we're friends. You look great. It's been so fun. But we started this thing for a lot of reasons. One was we want to just tell the story of volleyball and just, kind of just tell stories and have fun with it and really be engaged in evangelizing volleyball all over the place. So we're going to be doing this for quite a while is my point. And having your husband on here with you, without you, however you would like to do it, I think would be great because he would give a unique perspective. We just had a doctor on here to talk about sports performance and sports mentality.
Psychology.
So It was a great piece that we did. Having him on would be fantastic because you already just talked about what he's done for you to change a little bit just in regards to the arm swing or making it better for these kids. Love to have that. So I'll reach out. We'll talk after this, but I'd love to do that, to have you on again with you just by yourself, to get both, all of it.
Didn't even get to Europe.
I know, we didn't even really get to Holland yet. And we do.
Mooney, though. We get Mooney in there with you guys. That's going to be fun.
Go ahead.
One quick story about Mooney.
Yes, please.
When I first met Mooney, she was so put out after going to the grocery store in Holland, in Amstelveen. She was so put out because they didn't have fat-free mayonnaise. She's like, what's up with this place? We don't even have fat-free mayonnaise. I'm like, what is this? It's like, what?
Isn't mayonnaise a big deal over there in Holland too?
It's a very big deal, and there's no fat-free nothing.
Yeah, you don't even need it. It's probably good. It was good anyways. But yeah, that's funny. And I think like if we got you and her on, and we'll pick your husband in a separate one, we could talk for an hour just about playing in Europe and funny stories. I think it would be great. I think it'd be a funny session. So fun session. Well, I'm going to say it again, Dana. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know it's late where you are. Thanks for talking about volleyball in Canada and what you're doing still with the sport. That you're like me. We're all Americans, and we're both in the Hall of Fame. These guys, I know. But you did win a natty. Her and I did. Her and I both got to the Final Four. Yeah. I did get to the championship, but we both lost. We don't have a national championship, and you two, they both have a natty.
Yeah, we get.
But Dana, I want you to ask him one question. Just ask both of them this one question. Ask them who their last college volleyball match was against.
Oh, Bear can answer that. It wasn't.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't you. You were a coach. You were a coach on the team. So to end it, Bear, who was your last college volleyball match against?
USC, and we won.
Yeah, we won natty, baby.
No,
It's
a joke. I end his career in season that year, but
I played against Misty May. We played against Long Beach.
Legit, yeah.
Yeah, she was. This is one last little story. I have so many stories, you guys. Why do I have so many stories?
That's why we want
We'd love to have you back.
That was that 1 year Penn State.
She was playing on a torn ACL.
Oh.
And she was setting.
Oh, yeah.
So this was during the tournament, and I was a senior. She was setting on a torn ACL. It wasn't even repaired.
Oh, wow.
She was rolling around with a big old brace on. And she goes up to set, and she hits the ball with her left hand, maybe? I can't even remember.
She was an outside hitter in high school.
I was on the attack line, and she hit me in the stomach. That's how hard she hit. I was there to get she literally hit my stomach. I was like, what?
What was
That's phenomenal.
But then we beat them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
she had the career
Sorry.
where Long Beach State and Penn State met in the finals, both undefeated. Yeah, Long Beach State took them. Yep, that was her junior, I think. Oh, that's pretty amazing.
Good for you.
She was actually, she turned out to be an okay volleyball player.
She's all right.
She's okay.
She had a few good moments in her life.
She's okay.
Yeah.
And then we haven't talked about my beach stuff yet.
I know.
So you're going to come
okay.
back?
Like I said, we're going to get you on in the early part of the new year, Dana. I'm telling you.
That sounds good. Dana Cooke, we appreciate you coming on Set the Pipe and spread the word. That's for sure, to have all your Canadians subscribe to us, but it sure was a pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. I had a great time.
Thanks, Dana.
Thank you so much.